Down in Retail Redeveloped. Today I want to take a quick look at home retailers thriving as fashion retailers kind of lag behind. So throughout the coronavirus pandemic, many retailers have been struggling to stay afloat. A combination of shutdowns, a shift in companies working from home as a precaution, and a change in consumer spending patterns has delivered a precarious year for retailers. A fascinating dichotomy has emerged in business in general. Fashion apparel retailers are giving up their flagships, while on the other side of the retail table, you have home furnishing stores that are doubling down on emporium-like centerpieces. So there are influences on each side that say as much about the individual business as they do about the retail industry overall. On the apparel side, big chains like Gap and Abercrombie and Fitch have said that they are closing some of their high-profile locations in big cities to focus more attention on their e-commerce efforts. They have also voiced concerns relative to their tourism-driven locations, while out-of-towners are scarce. Department stores have been moving away from downtown locations for some time now, and some of the most recent closings announced by Macy's and Nordstrom, to name a few, include what had once been urban mainstay stores. For the home improvement business, the outcomes we're seeing are actually much different. And while that trend is pretty clear right now, retail has proved itself to be an art of fluidity, where the recipe for success could just as easily flip a few years down the road. Along the same lines, Home Depot and Lowe's continue to enjoy increased business during the pandemic as people use their lockdown time to spruce up their homes. Meanwhile, the consumer continues to loathe the ever-lingering and dreaded sight of an empty shelf. Two types of retailers are poised to come out on top on the other side of the pandemic: the mass and the niche, with the former championing this achievement. Many mass merchandise retailers such as Amazon, Walmart, Target, and Costco, many of which offer home accessories, supplies, and furniture, have seen sales continue to surge during the pandemic. Meanwhile, a number of other retailers, especially department stores and apparel, have really struggled here. So we've seen a correlation in the longer people have been home to the more time home improvement or redecorating projects that they actually take on. So as a retail specialist, a reoccurring focal point that I've seen on what has allowed a retailer to fare better than another throughout the pandemic really has a lot to do with how it was operating pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic home goods chain Williams-Sonoma was operating at just a little bit over half of sales from their e-commerce site and offered consumers a virtual 3D planning room to see how items would look in their homes. And this was all pre-COVID. So this poised the company to come out on top during the retail shutdowns. Their associates used to do home visits to help consumers plan out their space, and these home visits have become 100% digital as the pandemic progresses. So while traffic to their site is actually down, the conversion is up. And Jordan's Furniture, which is out of New England, goes so far as to incorporate IMAX theaters into some of its larger stores. So talk about experiential retail and truly getting to try before you buy. When consumers are shopping for their homes, be it furniture, sheets and towels, or pots and pans, or whatever it may be, it often represents a much larger, more substantial purchase than just a t-shirt or loungewear, because let's be real, no one's buying office attire right now. And as such, they want to see more of a selection, and often they want to see it in the context of other home products. Many consumers are still working from home and have been staring at the same pillows and decor and furniture every day, all day for the last year. And, we're just getting pretty antsy right now and eager for change. So it'll be interesting to see how these home goods retailers continue to perform throughout the remainder of the government restrictions and beyond in post-pandemic.